The Persona 5 Royale Part 2 crossover is here, and we get a better look at the new Hunter Hullabaloo's abilities. Let's begin. Welcome back to another episode, guys. Let's get into talking about what we're getting this week. And this week we're getting the Persona 5 Royale crossover Part 2 that is sadly only going to be bringing one skin, but of course there is some other content, including a share reward. So if you share the event on your Twitter or your Facebook, you'll be able to get 800 inspirations that you'll be able to use on some of the other content related to the crossover. If you complete event tasks and also collect exploration stamps, you'll be able to unlock rewards from the Path of Truth that will include the 80th skin for Fire Lady called Kazumi Yoshizawa, an emote, a portrait, inspirations, and even more. And if you pay 1,388 echoes, that is premium currency, so with real money, you can unlock the Path of Investigators that also has more rewards. By collecting exploration stamps, you'll be able to awaken the skin that we just mentioned for Fire Lady, to an alternate 80th version of that skin called Violet. You'll also be able to receive an accessory, furniture, portrait, inspirations, and even more. There will be another sharing event, but it's not sharing with kind of social media or anything like that, but instead it will be sharing mysterious visitors' messages during the event to be able to get different portraits, up to 5. And there's going to be a ton of returning content, including Persona 5 crossover Essence 1 and also Essence 2. So that's why you'll be able to use those 800 inspirations if you want to, or you can save them for future content. All of the skins from Essence 1 and Essence 2 can be awakened the same way as you were able to do it in previous events. Although this isn't exactly this week, but it's something that's running currently right now that I believe started over the weekend. There is a Persona 5 top-up center discount event going on right now, where if you go over to NetEase's Game Club top-up center, that is an official website where you're able to purchase echoes that goes into your game, of course, you'll be able to enter yourself in a lucky draw giveaway to win a gift card up to $99. They've also added even more rewards for those top-up things, including memory spheres and stuff. So you should definitely go and check that out. They have some really good deals over there. Another thing that's going on right now that's currently available is there's a small crossover going on with Filmora Video Editor and Identity 5. Yes, it's a bit weird that there's something to do with video editing and Identity 5. I guess they're really trying to push people into making videos, you know, TikToks and YouTube shorts and stuff like that. But right now there's a crossover going on there where you're able to get Identity 5 themed haunting fonts, logos, and characters from the Identity 5 franchise in Filmora 14. This you can use for video editing, so that's really quite cool. I have not used that software myself, but I do know that it's quite popular for some people. Let's talk about some future content now as we talk about the new Hullabaloo abilities that they've revealed, and they are very exciting. I did a reaction stream the other day. It was really cool to watch them. I'm very excited to see what this hunter's like in the game when we get to play with him or play against him and stuff like that. Let's begin with his first external trait called Final Stage. This trait means he has a circle around him on the floor that is divided into 3 different segments or sections. Red, black, and white, just like Acrobat's balls, and they have the same effects if you kind of keep in mind what Acrobat's normal abilities are. Well, this is what they do to survivors. If a survivor is standing within one of those segments, they are affected by a debuff, depending on the color that they were standing on. Red removes abilities, just like the Fire Bomb. Black slows down survivors, just like the Mud Bomb. And white slows down decoding and interaction speed, just like the Ice Bomb. The debuff will continue for a short period after they leave the circle as well. His second external trait is Joyful Terror. This gives him an incredibly fast movement speed. I'm not actually sure just how fast he is, but it also means that his attacks don't damage survivors. Well, not exactly. And instead gives survivors a debuff corresponding to the color that they were standing on when they were hit. If you were standing on the red part of the circle, then you get a red debuff, and so on, so on, so on. After a survivor has 3 debuffs stacked on top of them, the hunter is then able to hit them again, and then they will receive 1 normal hit's worth of damage, or a terror shock, or even a detention hit if that is the case of what the hunter has. This hunter does not get an attack recovery, but instead his attack recovery is a miss hit recovery, so just as if you missed an attack. But whilst he's in his recovery, he's still able to move, just really, really slow. Let's move on to his core abilities now, and the first one is his ability called Encore. This ability lets you spin the circle beneath you by 120 degrees clockwise, and this can be done again if you do it within a quick succession, so you can just change it twice. His second ability is Double Surprise, where he can summon a clone of himself from a distance, quite a long distance, and this clone attacks at the same time as the main body. So if you attack with your main body, then the copy will also attack. And you're also able to move this clone once before, it gets put onto cooldown or whatever. His third ability is called Trapeze, that lets him dash forwards, and if you collide with a wall or even a survivor, you hop over that wall or that survivor. It's kind of cool. It lets you go over the big gap on Moonlit River Park as well. It's kind of crazy. And then his full presence ability is called Joyful Terror Advanced. That's just an upgraded version of his Joyful Terror external trait. Whenever the hunter damages a survivor, with 3 debuffs of course, they will keep the last debuff that was applied to them on them. So for example, if you go black, red, white, and then you hit the survivor, then they will keep the white one, so you don't have to stack 3, you can just stack 2 more instead of starting from 0. Quite cool. His abilities are very cool and very unique, and I'm looking forward to see just how powerful this character is, because it's very difficult to tell considering it does take him quite a while to be able to stack up all of these debuffs, but who knows how fast that's really going to be when we get to play against him. So, interesting. Something that was revealed this week, we got to see Season 34 Essence 3's trailer that seems to just be basically his story, or how he feels about the whole Moonlit River Park incident. It's just an addition to the story as far as I can tell, but they did reveal some B tiers in that video, including The Shadow, Pharaoh Lady, Puppeteer, and Breaking Wheel, that will of course be coming with Season 34 Essence 3 on November 14th. This was pointed out by the amazing person on Twitter called IDV Clue that seems to notice everything. Go and check them out if you haven't already. Yet another thing that they announced that's coming for Thanksgiving, because last week we talked about some of the content that they were going to give us for Thanksgiving, and I think it was actually the previous to the last video. But anyway, they've announced even more stuff that's coming, and those are 2 different series of skins returning, including the 1 series skin, including that will have Ripper's Good Child skin, Gravekeeper's Epitaph skin, First Officer's Departure Date skin, Doctor's Recovery skin, and Violinist's Demon's Symphony skin. And another series that we're getting that is returning are the Ivory Tower skins, including Doctor's Mole Student, Perfumer Regal Maiden, Mercenary's Black Sheep, and Coordinator's Lady. It's time for us to talk about the Q&A, and as usual there are some Q&A questions that are a little bit weird, including one that was talking about Moonlit River Park's setting to turn off the green effect. That's very interesting that they would answer that now, considering the map's been out for such a long time. But anyway, I will talk about some of the things that stood out to me, but if you want to read them, they're going to be on the screen right now, as there are even more things that they answered. They've announced that some non-limited emotes will be added to the memory spheres, that Chinese New Year will bring back skins including Lightning Claw for Gamekeeper and Rain Pearl for Acrobat. The upgradable Christmas tree that was released for last year's Christmas event will be returning this Christmas. Gardener will receive an Essence skin next season. They are optimizing a ton of skins and accessories and stuff. There's an entire page about this. I did not care to read any of that. They're going to be adding a new copycat role at the end of November or beginning of December for those who love that game mode. There are going to be some possible improvements to visibility for the Hunter Mad Eyes when using his consoles. That's a very much needed change. That character's been out for such a long time, and people have been complaining about the fact that they can't see certain areas very well, so that's going to be quite cool. There's possibly going to be an increase to the max number of room pictures that you'll be able to store, up from 20 that is the current one. They are going to be adding some more character medal achievements for different hunters that they haven't announced yet. The characters they will release medals for will be every character up to Sculptor's release, so everything before that should have medals, and this should be coming this season according to NetEase. And as I said, they gave us even more information, but I'm not going to talk about all of that. If you haven't already seen my reaction video to the release of Hullabaloo, and all his abilities and stuff, then you should go and check out the video that's on the screen right there, because you'll find it quite interesting. He's quite cool, and I was really surprised by his abilities.